Yvette was here, right here, when Keith took Ulysses' life, wounded you, and almost took us all out. I needed to understand why Yvette wouldn't take the chance to testify against that monster when it counts the most. Do you honestly think I'd allow Vivian to get away with this? No, I don't. But there is another way to make her pay, Isidore. Focus on proving to your father that you are a capable leader. I've been doing that for years, Mom. All of a sudden, Vivian pops up out of the blue, and he feels like no one else can do a better job. I just can't understand how Faiboon is just okay with her son threatening me behind her back. How does she not realize that Wade has something to hide? Wade must be the expert on how to manipulate his mother. And somehow we had to find a way to get her to stop being so blind over the fact. Why does it seem like you've been upset with me lately, JJ? I don't know, Vanessa. Maybe it's because you've made Yvette feel guilty for not testifying against Keith in court. Do you plan to testify against Keith in court, Zeke? Yeah, I'm just really doing it for the show. Why do you want to know, Dee? 'Cause I'd like for you to ask Yvette if she could do the same. What do you need to ask me, Lorenzo? I just want to make sure that Isidore isn't causing you any trouble, Vivian. If you're here to discuss Quinlan, then you'll be glad to know that she'll back off. I'm here because I'm concerned, Ben. Concerned about what? I'm worried that something has happened to Sean. If you're expecting me to apologize to Yvette, then I guess you'll walk away being disappointed. Whether you apologize or not, Vanessa, I just want to make sure that you leave Yvette alone. What did I miss? Since when did she ask you to be her knight in shining armor, JJ? She didn't. I get that I wasn't in school the day that Keith brought a weapon and took Ulysses' life, but I'm pretty sure that Yvette has gone through a lot of pain throughout the school year. Now that she's pregnant, I just don't think she needs to be pressured into anything. Ulyssa was our friend, JJ. When Ulyssa was alive, you couldn't care less about Yvette's feelings. So how come you're suddenly okay with the fact that she won't testify against the monster who made our lives miserable? I don't know if I can convince Yvette to do anything. Yvette and I ain't friends no more, Zeke. It ain't like she's gonna listen to what I gotta say. I ain't friends with Yvette either, Dee. Yeah, but you two are gonna have a connection for the rest of your lives. She might actually hear you out. Isidore ain't been messing with me at all, Lorenzo. Actually, the rest of the family ain't really giving me problems. But that worries me. How come? You know how the family is like, and they ain't usually this quiet, which means all of them are up to something. But Gianni assured you that he wouldn't let the event turn into a disaster. And I'm still not sure if I can take his word for it. Take my word for it, Vivian. If anyone messes up your event, then they will face my wrath. What makes you so sure that something terrible has happened to Sean? It hasn't been long since Quinlan interviewed me. My son should have reached out to me by now, Ben. Or maybe Sean truly doesn't want to be found, Faiboon. And I understand that. But he would know that I would be able to keep him hidden. At the end of the day, Yvette can't be forced into doing anything she doesn't want to do. I don't know what Yvette told you, but I never tried to force her into anything, JJ. Let me make it clear to you that I don't want to see Keith again at all. All I want to do is make sure that justice is served. Proper justice. There aren't enough people who will testify against him, Vanessa. Enough testimonies to keep that weirdo in prison for the rest of his life. I'm not worried that he'll make parole. What worries me is that Keith will keep on living while Ulysses not here. Look, Dee, you already know that Yvette don't even want me in the kid's life. Do you want to be in your baby's life? You also know how complicated that question is. Fine. We can worry about that later. I get that I ain't never knew Ulyssa, but I know how loved she was. Vanessa would be less stressed if Yvette testifies. You're right, Ulyssa was loved, but no matter what went on between Yvette and I, that don't mean she'd want to hear my opinion on what she should do in court. What are you two chatting about? Why are you so eager to stand up for me? Because I'm your father. Yeah. but I'm your illegitimate daughter, Lorenzo. It ain't even been a whole year since you found that out, and you expect me to believe that you go against your family for me? You're a part of this family, Vivian. How long will it take for you to believe that I would have welcomed you with open arms if your mother had only told me that she was pregnant? Clarice made it clear by the time that my mama was pregnant with me that I was nothing more than your bastard. There ain't no way Gianni and Isidore would have considered me as family. It don't matter that I was the cutest baby in world history. You already don't believe that Wade is hiding Sean from you. What do you think could have happened to Sean? He could have ran into the wrong person while on the run, Ben. I get how that's a possibility, but I'm sure that Sean would have let any dangerous person know the sort of family he belongs to. What if he didn't get the chance to explain any further? I'll always be angry over what Keeve did, and the judge would be making the right choice if Keeve does get executed. But a life in prison wouldn't be a life of paradise for him or anyone. You know how sick he is. I wouldn't be surprised if Keeve actually gets used to life in prison. As for Ulissa, she had such a bright future, and that monster cold-heartedly snatched it all away. I refuse to live the rest of my life in a world where Keeve Burke is still alive while Ulissa is not. I was just asking Zeke if he was going to testify against Keeve. Why does that matter to you? Cause Ulissa was friends with my cousins. Again, what does that have to do with you? Guess I'll see myself out. That wasn't called for, Nichelle. I didn't tell her to stay away from you, Zeke. Besides, what right does your friend have to discuss my late sister's case with you or anyone else? What happened in this school, in this library, has nothing to do with Dee Dee. At least she wants to help, Nichelle. Yvette was here too, and she don't even want to testify in court. And you think I would have allowed anyone to mistreat my infant daughter? As if you'd be around me 24/7. Don't forget, I was conceived after Devontae Torres took Elvira's life. I'm a constant reminder to your wife that you ain't honor your vows, Lorenzo. My life could have been miserable for all you know. But you took over this company because you felt robbed out of your birthright. Yes, but I also wouldn't have minded growing up with the life of luxury I was entitled to. What I'm trying to explain to you is that my childhood might not have been this perfect image that you imagine it would have been. I'm sorry, Vivian. I'm so sorry for bringing you into such a complicated mess. My hope is that you find a way to forgive me for the mistakes I made before you were even born. Are you saying that you don't think Sean is alive? It's every parent's worst nightmare. Try to relax, Faiboon. There's no evidence that Sean is no longer living. Most of all, there are still no clues as to where he could be. Don't jump to conclusions. But with everything you do know, do you honestly believe that there's a chance that my son is still alive, Ben?